QSL on the array. We're aware, and Barry, into EQS. He's been the last Wednesday. He mentioned something about that, and they're talking about reworking how the station is connected for Echolink. That should make it more robust and actually give local amateurs the ability to steer the Echolink a little better too. So uh, the only word I can give you on that is they are working on it. Like right now, working on it.
Yeah, our local club uses Echolink. I would be happy if they used All-Star because I think it sounds a whole lot better, but I'm one of these picky people when it comes to the audio.
Yeah, my dad was telling me when I came through with the YSF bridge, my audio was kind of crummy compared to coming native DMR. You're not alone, and I get that. There was proposal to do some all-star work up here. Um, I don't know where it's gone. It kind of stalled out. I was looking forward to that, but it must have petered out somewhere. I'll double back. A bunch of them have been in Florida at Hamcation, and we've been getting some pictures. It looks nice down there, and we'll see what happens when everyone kind of gets back to town.
Yeah, I listened to some of the videos that were put up yesterday about that. Surprisingly, Kenwood was not there. I sort of thought they might be there since they gained approval for that 750, but they were not there. Do you know, uh, Mel, if that YSF system is linked to all those repeaters up there in the southern tier? And is it bridged to Wires X? That's what I was talking to Frank about.
Here is N2QFD. Yes, yes, it is. Um, it's they use Wires X to bridge a bunch of 440 machines all in the region here, and further out even. It covers all the way to like Scranton, Pennsylvania, and they should all be linked through the N yeah N9 RIM uh, link, and I can look up the room number for you if you'd like.
Well, I can't do Wires X, but there's a Southern Tier Fusion group too, and I was wondering if those were all linked together.
Yes, they should be linked together, and I'm pretty sure that's what they called it, the Southern Tier Fusion. Um, yeah, Southern Tier Fusion 21424, and that's all bridged by Wires X together. And at like 8 o'clock, they should call a Sunday night net. They do it Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock as well.
I'll have to check that out because I've gone on there, I've listened, and I've thrown my call out, but I haven't gotten any response on there.
So the bridge, I don't know if the 440 machine that's bridged to this Wires X stuff is tied into the Echolink. So if that's how you're coming in, the Echolink is on a 2 meter radio here locally, and I don't know if I don't think that radio is cross-linked to the Wires X system.
No, no, no. I go in through YSF. I have Fusion.
Oh, all right. Well, then yeah, as long as where you're at, you can get into that Wires X group. Again, that's 214-21424, the Southern Tier Fusion Net. That should get you into that group. I have heard stations from California and Florida and all over the place check in when they do their nets. It's kind of new for me. I just got an antenna up with a break in the weather that should let me check in, and I plan on trying to do that tonight as well.
Okay, well, like I said to Frank, if I'm not downstairs uh, getting Anna back from her trip, I'll try to listen at least and see if that's the thing that I have set up. I think it is, though. And I'm going to step aside now because Frank's going to be calling the net. Good talking to you, though, Mel. N2 QFD, N3D QD.
Fine business on all, and we'll stand here for Frank's announcement. This is N2QFT.
This is W2FJH, bringing up the STNY Digital Voice Net. I'm Master Talk Group 31367, Wires X Room 8721, and live stream to Google Meet, YouTube, and Discord. The primary purpose of the STNY Digital Voice Net is to foster an active digital voice community in the southern tier of New York and to provide a forum for those that are interested or have questions regarding various digital voice topics. While this net is primarily for the southern tier, all stations are more than welcome to check in. This net meets weekly on Sundays at 7 p.m. For more information about this net, please visit stnydmr.net. This net will prioritize short-time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power stations. We currently have 6 other stations besides myself checked in, so the net would like to recognize N3DQD Ray, K3BYC Carlton, N2QFD Mail, W2KDC Dennis, N2BSS Jeff, and N2NRA Cliff. All right, when checking in, please give your call sign, your name, and your location. So let's first take a standby for any stations that are short time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, but we also did pick up KC3 Whiskey Victor X-Ray Scott and N3OJP Mick. Also W2TXB Jerry on NetLogger. So we also have them checked in. All right, let's open it up for any and all stations that would like to check in this evening. Please call now.
Alpha 2 Charlie Oscar, Howard, and Endicott.
N2RWH, Binghamton. Kilo Echo 2 Alpha Uniform Sierra, Stephen in Lyle.
All right, and we have Alpha Alpha 2 Charlie Oscar Howard, N2RWH Ed, and KE2 AUS Stephen. Were there any other stations to join this evening? Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so we'll kick things off. If there's any announcements for the net this evening, actually, I'll kick things off. My own announcement. Looking for anybody who'd be willing to volunteer their time to also run net control, because me and the XYL are expecting another little bundle of joy here in June. So my time in the June, July, August time frame might be a little tight, and looking for any other volunteers to help run the net. So if you do, wish to volunteer, you can find me on QRZ, or just let me know on the net, and I can jot you down. I'd like to thank Mal, Mick, and everybody else who has helped me run that before. It's really appreciated because sometimes life gets busy. Oh, and Ed, actually, I will be checking in Ed, NE2W as well here. So, all right. Any other announcements for the net this evening? Please call now. All right, nothing heard there. Mal, N2QFD did tell me he had a special announcement, so I'll let you take over the net here and there, Mal.
Thank you, Frank. Here is November 2, Quebec Foxtrot Delta, acting as net control. Net, please stand by. Whiskey Victor 3 Mike, this is N2QFD. Whiskey Victor 3 Mike, here is N2QFD. Whiskey Victor 3 Mike, here is N2QFD. This is N2QFD acting as net control. Nothing heard. All stations in the southern tier DMR net, please be advised. Whiskey Victor 3 Mike does not answer. Joe Bresh, who had checked into our net previously, is now a silent key. Joe was an active amateur radio operator in the Allentown area near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and had been an early adopter of digital voice. And it's our privilege to have known him and complete this formality of the acknowledgement that while he is no longer with us as operators, we will continue to operate in good faith, in good fellowship, and enjoy each other's company. Here is N2QFD, back to net control.
All right, thank you there, Mal. And all right, let's move on with any questions. If there's any questions this evening, please call now. All right, no questions, so we will move in for comments. The net topic this evening was contributed by Mal and 2QFD regarding emergency preparedness. When was the last time you navigated using a paper map, and do you currently own a paper map? So, top of my list here is N3DQD. Ray, how was your week?
Yeah, W2FDH group. This is M3DQD. Well, quite honestly, I have not used a paper map, although I was in a couple of sports car rallies when I was young, and both times I managed to come in last. So I must not be a very good navigator. Back to that. This is N3DQD.
Hey, very good there, Ray. And yeah, thanks, Mal, for this one too. I was gonna say I haven't had a paper map in quite a long time there, making me think if I should order some for the the south tier area. So, all right, moving on down to K3 BYC Carlton. How was your week?
This is K3BYC, Carlton and Darlington, Maryland. Uh, good evening, Frank. Thanks for taking the net. Good evening to everyone who's checked in. Well, it's been nice having moderated temperatures here. We were in the 50s yesterday, topped out in the 40s today. It looks like 40s and 50s for the remainder of the month. If this Weather Channel app holds up, we had some rain today, and we'll have a little bit later in the week. But as long as we get the stuff to melt and not refreeze. Uh, Paper maps, I've got a couple around the house, state of Maryland and Harford County. But I guess the old GPS and the OnStar in the car has and Google Maps on all the other devices that we've all used. So I remember years ago, whenever I wanted to do about a trip, a AAA, always did a paper map for me, a custom one, and I was pretty good at it. I could follow the signs usually on interstates and not have to refer to that map that often. Locally, we haven't used a paper map uh, in forever. I guess that goes for just about everybody there, but maybe I'll pull one out just to practice. That's all I have for now. Everybody have a great week and a happy President's Day holiday. This is K3BYC. Back to net control.
Hey, thanks, there, Carlton. And yeah, you mentioned Google Maps. That's always my navigator of choice there. And I've also learned that if you're before your leave, definitely make sure to download whole region of where you might possibly go from Google Maps, because I've been in the situation where we stopped and got gas. We went to grab something, a drink for the road, and no internet. Apparently, my cell phone wouldn't reconnect to get me the rest of my route. So we actually had to drive down the road until we got internet, and then was able to pick it up from there. But lesson learned: always download before you start hitting the road there. So, all right, next on my list is N2QFDL. How was your week?
Here is N2QFD. Thanks for letting me make the announcement, Frank. It's an old custom to make a last call. And I've heard a lot of operators refer to their their kids as the spurious, their new spurious signal. So we're rooting for a happy and healthy pregnancy and a new arrival in the summer months ahead. So the map question came up from something I heard on the ARRL audio news. A club out in Ohio realized that a lot of their local level first responders, police, sheriffs, and whatnot have been relying very heavily on internet-based mapping. And it occurred to them that perhaps in a grid down situation that might not be practical. So they developed a bunch of map packs for their folks. For the life of me, I couldn't remember what I had told you was a suggestion when my dad asked me earlier this weekend. So I'm glad it was a good one. And as a guy who draws maps for a living, it's always on my mind. Let me take a pause. So as a practical demonstration of this, the wife and I once decided to take a trip to New England, and we were not going to use our smart devices. We stopped at a fueling station partway up Route 88 and realized that the map rack, which used to be in every gas station, is not a common feature anymore. So if you do find yourself in that situation as you had, Frank, what are you going to do? I still keep maps. As I said, it's kind of my bread and butter, literally. I draw the natural gas piping infrastructure for a fair chunk of New York here. Maps are kind of my life. So I do have a good for maps, but tuck it away somewhere and maybe keep some local level mapping handy if that's your thing. And we'll leave it at that, I suppose. Otherwise, in radioactivity, we were playing with some Packet this week. HF Packet is alive and well, which is kind of fun to find. And otherwise, it's just been the same old here.
Hey, thanks, Al. And yes, thank you for making that announcement. I have not actually heard that style before, so definitely good information to know. Moving forward as a net control. Thank you for wishing a happy and healthy pregnancy there. She's I think she's only like a couple weeks away from being officially being in the third trimester. Which many of your wives and everything might know. That's usually the uncomfortable trimester. So, but yeah, and thanks for the topic as well. Yeah, as you're mentioning there, like I don't see them in any gas stations or anything anymore, and for us, we just had to run up the road until we actually, I knew we had to keep traveling on the road we came in on, but we had to basically get to the next town before we actually got internet service again. And luckily, we didn't have to backtrack. There wasn't any other routes that we had to take. It was just the next town over, and we had Sigmund. But thinking, yeah, I guess I have to go out to like Amazon or something to get any of the local maps, in the area. So I guess we'll see if they're on there. So all right, next on my list is W2 KDC Dennis. How was your week?
W2 KDC Dennis here. Thank you, Frank. I had a good week. Wednesday, the doc did the cardiac ablation for the PVCs I was having, and he managed to knock them out, find where they're coming from, and knocked them out. And then they gave me drugs to try to create them again, and still couldn't succeed to get them. So we declared that 100% victory. That makes it a good week. The recovery has been very easy. Haven't felt bad about it at all. I was told I might have, feel tired or have some pain or whatever, but nothing at all. So that's it for the week. Let me take a quick break. as far as the question, I don't remember the last time I actually navigated with a map. Used to do it all the time, as we all did, but and I probably have a paper map or two around here if I looked hard enough for them. They wouldn't be a highway map, though. Uh, Up till a couple years ago, when in the past, when we had the big camper, I used to have a book. It was about 2 inches thick. It was a trucker's atlas, and it had paper maps of everything, and they were all laminated. You could write on them. You could navigate with them if you wanted to. Write on them with a grease pencil. I don't think people know what grease pencils are anymore either, but I never had the need to use it, but I always kept it in the camper just in case. And we still use all the internet stuff. But we're not camping anymore. Too big a book to take up all the space in the car, so that's gone. And that's my story for tonight. W2, KDC. Back to you, Frank.
Hey, very good there, Dennis, and very glad to hear that you had your 100% victory and things are looking your recovery's going very well there, and it's not too strenuous on you there. So, and yeah, you mentioned the last time last time of using a paper map. I do recall the last time I used a paper map. It was back when I was a teenager and I was delivering Chinese food around town there. It was back before GPS was really popular. Some of the Garmin's and the other devices were coming out, but they were too expensive for a poor teenager there to put in his car, and so I still relied on the paper maps. And ironically enough, I still recall most of the streets in Watertown, but I've lost that of all the street names and every avenue that they go off of. I used to know basically every street in the town, so, but not anymore. It's been a while. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice. Before I get to my next station, let's take a quick standby to see if there's any additional stations out there that would like to check in this evening. Please call now. All right, nothing heard, so we will move on down to N2BSS. Jeff, how was your week?
Yeah, W2FJH and the net. This is N2BSF. Hopefully hearing me okay this evening. How was my week? Well, I could answer that with, I'm sitting here in my easy chair yakking with you on the radio and plugged in with a heating pad on my back. So, oh well. When the big snow came a couple of weeks ago, I tweaked it, doing some shoveling and working the snowblower and all that. It never quite fully healed, and then it started acting up on me again today. So we'll just put a little heat on it and hope things feel better by morning. We did have a productive weekend around here. We are, struggling to clean the garage, to gain control of it again, and it looks like progress has been made. Had a special Valentine's Day dinner last night because on Valentine's Day, way back in 1992, is when we got engaged. Here we are all these years later. So we had our special engage-anniversary dinner. I made some venison stew with a deer that used to roam my property, but is now occupying space in my freezer. And today to cap things off, we made homemade butter, and did more cleaning in the garage. I only grab a nickel here. you don't want to time things out. Maps, maps. You know, I still have one of those big multi-page guides with every page is a different sector, and on that sector is a map. But that guide is like 15 years old or so, and there are roads now that are not in that guide, but they just keep building new roads, and I have to put new new pages in the map, so to speak. Need new lines on the page, and I was curious about this, and I forget, it's not Rand McNally and it's not Delorme. I forget who the company is, but there's a railroad that ran near my property, and it's on one page, but then when you go to the next page, it's gone. But the railroad still was there. It's just, I guess, whoever was in charge of making the map for that page didn't the old abandoned railroad line down on there. Railroad's long gone, but the line was there on the map. And someone like me who used to hunt old rail lines for looking for the old glass insulators or telegraph remains or railroad paraphernalia, I always like using the paper maps to go find those old routes and look for different areas to explore. But I probably could still navigate by map if I by hand map if I needed to. And just find, when driving, trying to look at a paper map and look ahead and look at the paper map. Yeah, kind of like the GPS, but what if it didn't work? Well, I have to go back to the old way. W2FJH and 2BSF.
Hey, very good there, Jeff. And yeah, I agree with you. The big thing about the GPS for me is that when it tells you which lane you have to be in. So sometimes I'm trying to watch traffic and everything else, and I miss the sign, and I'm like, oh geez, I got to be in the far left lane to go off of it. And it's nice and easy that you can have a quick glance down, and it tells you exactly, the right two lanes is what I need to be in. So that's always a good thing. And yeah, sorry your tweets are back. They're cleaning out the garage, and yeah, heating pad works. I know. Well, me and the wife, every time we go up and visit family, we always kind of have a thing. We get the hotel room, but they have one with it's a little bit extra, but it has a jacuzzi tub in there, and we always kind of say, hey, well, we don't have a jacuzzi at home, so we kind of rent one when we go visit family. But yeah, those things too. I figured that'd be amazing on your back. Be just sitting in a nice warm jacuzzi tub. So, um, and hey, more power to you. You're brave to go out on the Valentine's Day dinner there. I know me and the wife we've went out on Valentine's Day a few times, and it just seems like restaurants anymore, they seem to book reservations. So even though we have a reservation for 7, we're still sitting there at like 8:30 or 8 o'clock, and we're still waiting for a table. And it's like they just keep taking the reservations, but they don't count how many tables they have. So we usually celebrate Valentine's Day like the weekend after, or just somewhere in the vicinity anymore. So, but all right, very good there. All right, my list is A2NRA. Cliff, how was your week?
This is N2NRA, Cliff and Waverly. Hello to everybody this evening. Quite a list of folks. The warm weather, 34 degrees out now, and with the warm up, we're gonna have to get the Hawaiian shirts out soon. And watching a bit of the Winter Olympics. The car washes are busy, and thanks Al for the announcement. Whiskey Vector 3, Mike. I gotta go. Whiskey Vector 3, Mike was a friend of mine. 30 years. So good. I got it. Back in that control.
Well, thanks, there, Cliff, and I'm very sorry for your loss there. Um, yeah. So I do apologize, and I understand. So, all right. Next on our list is KC3 Whiskey Victor X-Ray. Scott, how was your week?
This is KC3WVX. Well, hasn't been too bad. It's been more of the same. Go through my parents' stuff and try to sort things out and get things in order. Cliff, I'm very sorry to hear about the loss of your friend. My condolences to you. As far as maps go, yeah, I use maps. I have quite a stack of maps here, state maps. Most states, if you get under the Department of Transportation or their official state websites, you can request a free state map. I've had no problems getting state maps from any state I requested one from, except for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania will not provide you with a free map. I like using maps besides GPS because I can see the big picture and plan things out a little more ahead of time than just waiting for the GPS to tell me where I'm at. But I kind of use both of them, but yep, I still think maps are very handy and a very good tool to use. This is Casey. This is KC3WVX. Back to net control. Sorry, my finger slipped off the button.
Hey, no problem there, Scott. And yeah, thanks for that. I'll have to check that out too to see if New York State offers any free maps instead of buying one off of Amazon there. So, all right. Next on my list is N30JP. Nick, how was your week?
Good evening, Frank. Everybody on the net. First of all, congratulations to your wife and you for the new harmonic. It'll come in June. Um, Good for Lily to have somebody to play with now, or be the have a brother or a sister. And nice tribute Mal gave with the silent key, the last call for WV3M. And I'm sorry, Cliff. I hope things get better. It's a tough time when that happens. Let's see. The maps, like Scott said, you get a big picture, and especially if we're going some distance. I still use them. I still got them. Kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. But locally, when you're trying to find a street or an address, the GPS works out pretty good. Let's see. We're up in Mayville right now. I got here last Wednesday, but prior to getting up here, I had to get the ice out of the downspouts because it was so cold for all them days. We didn't have any melt, and I tried to stay after it, but they just fill up. So I got those cleaned out, and we had that warm day on Tuesday, and so but there was still plenty of ice in there. So hopefully, when we get home, it won't be so bad. And my wife came up with my daughter, one of them, Thursday, because of the Mayville Ice Festival. It's annual. They cut up blocks out of the lake, and they made this castle. It's probably about 40 foot wide and 20 foot deep, and I think, I counted maybe 17 blocks high, so it's probably 25 foot high. It's a project. It takes about a month to build a thing. So we went over there today just to, go through. It's kind of nice the way they have it. In fact, it's funny to see there's fish actually frozen in the blocks. I guess they got caught in the cold, and yeah, we've seen a couple perch and the bluegills in the block. Then we made a few stops around the region. They had a craft fair to one place. It was kind of nice. There were some pretty good items in there. But we walked around and drove down to Barcelona, just north of Westfield there by about a mile. We wanted to see Lake Erie and the harbor being frozen and the lake. It's been a couple of years since it's been frozen, so it was different to see the big lake like that. And let's see here. Last time I was on, Scott had mentioned the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, and then Ray, N3DQD, my neighbor, had mentioned Pymatuning Reservoir was a project of the CCC. So I did some, I looked up the history on it. It was back in the 30s, to give men work. It's quite a project. They actually turned a swamp into a reservoir, which eliminated some of the flooding downstream. There's a couple of rivers that flow into the Ohio. But yeah, it was a good week. Friday, my oldest daughter and her friend, Ben, he came up and they brought our grandson. It was kind of fun for him because there's a lot of snow here. And we had quite a bit back in western Pennsylvania. Probably had 17, 18 inches on the ground. But up here, there's more. So we got a chance to do some sledding, and they took off this morning. I think we're heading back tomorrow. Frank, I'll turn it back to you. Say good evening. W2FJH. Oh, one other thing. I'm trying to get the SHAO, that DX expedition. It's on that National Reserve right next to Puerto Rico. I don't know what kind of power those guys are running. Of course, the pileups are incredible, but they must be it must be a low power station because usually I have no trouble hearing Puerto Rico. All right, Frank, back to you. W2FJH N30JP.
Hey, thanks for Mick. And yeah, it sounds like you had a full week as usual there, and yeah, I'll have, maybe not this summer, but maybe next summer or the summer after or something. I'll have to get with you and Ed N2W over again and get some travel tips of other places to visit with the little ones there. So. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital VoiceNet. Before I get to my next station, let's take another quick standby. For any additional station out there that'd like to check in this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard, so we'll move on down to W2TXB. Jerry, how's your week?
Good evening, W2TXB. Not a bad week so far. A couple of little glitches happening, but still working on that. Had nothing really fancy going on for Valentine's Day. Sherry and I took a run up to Rochester with a quick stop in Neva. But I run up to Rochester and had lunch with 6 other hams up there at Bill's Long Pond. Had a good lunch and got together and talked for a bit. Try to get up there once every so often to do that. And it's always fun, always good people and all that too. And the food's good, of course. And yeah, going out for dinner on Valentine's is it's crazy. It's even the places that are not excellent probably pack people in pretty heavy. So we tend to avoid those sorts of things. What else going on? Tinkering with the YSF2 DMR stuff here with the PICE or the WPSD software. And it's working. So far, so good. Haven't been able to get into the TJF stuff yet. I'm still working on that. And I should probably just break down and get a DMR radio, make it easier, but oh well. Anyway, this works for now. It's going to get me through. Back to you, and condolences to Cliff there on his loss. It's a bummer, no doubt about it. Anyway, back to Net Control W2TXB.
Hey, thanks there, Jerry. And yeah, do let me know if you have any questions or anything. You can find my email on QRZ. If you're trying things out. I am familiar with WPSD software. I run it myself and everything. And I have tinkered with the YSF to DMR. Actually, I think Mal just had told me about something new there that maybe I have to re-explore it again. But yeah, do let me know if you have any questions there. Or also on 73, 7 spelled out, SEVEN, numeric number 3.net. A lot of good people on there that could always help you out if I'm busy at the moment like that. So. All right, moving on down to the next station, I have AA2CO. Howard, how was your week?
Oh, pretty good week. Hey, it's a lot warmer than 10 below, so I'm happy. And I want to toss out a quick thank you to Dennis W2KDC, who told me about that when I just happened to run into him on other talk group. So glad I found it here, and I put in the reminders and got everything. And I've listened to the Southern Tier talk group, but never heard anything much. And Dennis says, "Well, come on up and join in the net." So the paper map thing, yeah, I'm a dinosaur. No, I do use the electronic navigation, but we drive down to Florida now once a year, and I absolutely detest I-95, and can't tell you how many times I got stuck sitting there. And I love to have a paper map that I can look and see the big picture, like a couple others said, and then I can tell Google Maps that this is the road I want to go to, or this is the town that I want to go through, and this makes it a lot easier. I was looking to update my map because it's almost 20 years old, and my road I live, and I was looking at the truck stops, and the only thing they have anymore is just like you were saying, the truckers thing with laminated pages and all that, and it was 40, $50 for that, and I just wasn't looking to spend that much money. I remember the good old days of Rand McNally, and 8 or 10 bucks would buy you the entire USA and Canada in a little half by 11 book that you could just stick in there and pull it out quick. It's yelling at me, so just let it. Find a new route to go around. So yeah, I still use them. I used the paper map probably 6 months ago. So every now and then, AA2CO back to net.
Hey, very good there, Howard, and welcome to the net there. Yeah, and thanks for Dennis for letting him know as well. Yeah, sometimes this talk group does get a little quiet during the week. But yeah, we do have a fair good amount of people that check in for the net each week. So thanks for stopping by there. And just by the way, more information about this net you can find at STNY DMR.net. It stands for Southern Tier New York DMR .net. You can add the links for the Discord server, the Google Meet, in case you can't, you don't have your radio nearby, but you like to listen into the net. We also do broadcast out to YouTube and Google Meet and things like that. So definitely you can always, keep in touch in case even the radio or the hotspot or something like that isn't working. So welcome. So, all right, next on the list is N2RWH. Ed, how was your week?
And to RWH. Not bad. Good evening to everybody on the net. Um, not too bad here. Enjoying a little bit warmer temperatures, as everybody else is. So, um, I guess for that topic, yes, I do have some paper maps and some state maps and some books and county maps. So, that I have held on to. I good information on requesting maps because I remember you used to be able to go to rest stops and get maps, but I don't think that's like that anymore. So other than that, hopefully everybody has a good week,
And I'll turn it back to you, Frank, and to RWH.
Hey, thanks, sir, Ed. And yeah, me as well. I'm enjoying warmer weather, but I'm I know we're also in February, so I'm trying not to have too much hope that it's gonna stay this way. But definitely the cold snap. I hope we keep those negative sub-zero temperatures away for the rest of the season. So, all right, moving on down the list to KE2 AUS. Stephen, how was your week?
Good evening there, Frank, and everybody else on the net. It's been a good week. Nothing to complain about here. This is the first net I've ever been on with DMR. You're actually the second contact I've ever made with DMR. I think I finally have things sorted out. I just using a Baofeng HT, and I finally got the CPS set right. So when I send it to the radio, I think my transmit and receive both working. At first, I could transmit great, but I was hearing nothing. But I finally think I have that sorted, and I I don't. There, I had to wait a minute. I guess I'm so new at it, I don't really have any questions yet, as a matter of fact. But as far as maps, every summer we use them. We get them at the campground, and we use the paper map to find our campsite. That's probably not within the spirit of the question there. As far as road maps go, I last summer I did consult a paper map a couple times, but once we're traveling, we're either using the Garmin or a cell phone. I do have a paper map with us though as backup, and hopefully my signal's good. Hopefully everything's working good, and with that, I will send it back to net control.
Yeah, you were coming through loud and clear there, Stephen. No problems at all. And yeah, you mentioned that you don't have any questions at the time. But if you do, there's a whole group of folks that if as I just mentioned, 7-3, it's seven spelled out, SEVEN, numeric number 3.net. There's a whole bunch of people on there. If you go to STNY Southern Tier New York DMR.net, that's what it stands for, but it's actually, if you put in your URL, STNY DMR. There is also a Discord server out there, and there is, you're in this, okay. But yeah, hopefully any questions, we'd be more than happy to help you with if you have any issues or things that aren't working. Or even after the net, we do have Google Meet up and running. So any Sunday after the net is over, some people will switch over to Google Meet. So you can ask them questions directly to help you, get back up and running, or any questions you have. So welcome aboard as well to the net. So thanks for stopping by. All right, next on my list is NE2W. Ed, how was your week?
Hey, good evening, Frank, and everybody on the net. Time goes by too fast, I'll tell you that. This week just flew by. Want to pass along my condolences to Cliff there about his friend Joseph. And the question about the maps is a good question. I do have a couple paper maps, and we haven't really used them since probably 2014. That's what this one from Pennsylvania says on it.
Interesting. When I was a kid, my dad used to throw me the map and have me navigate for him, and I got used to it. Of course, he drew maps when he was working down in Philadelphia. He was making maps before he moved up here to Owego to work at IBM. But maps, I don't think I've used them over 25 years because I know when we were traveling with my sons when they were young, we used streets and trips. Had a little USB thing that had the GPS. Stick that up on the roof and put streets and trips on the laptop and go from there. I liked it better than what the Garmin was out, and that's 1991. That was around, and it was a nice way to get around. You didn't need internet because it was just picking up the GPS signal. And what's interesting, back then the GPS wasn't as accurate as now. When it first came out, they purposely, for the public, they didn't get all of the resolution of it. The military was concerned about, I guess, just providing the accuracy to um, threats or whatever. But now it's more accurate. I think you still get used to the accuracy now. And but streets and trips ended, somewhere 10 years. It was only around for 10 years, and by then everybody had the smartphone and would use Waze and whatever on those. Okay, Steve, your signal sounds good. Welcome to DMR, and spring's just around the corner. We've got about 30, 32 days till spring. Hope everyone has a good evening. This is NE2W.
Hey, thanks, Ed. And yeah, you mentioned the accuracy, and that it is really like pinpoint anymore. I've noticed before, like I've just pulled up maps, and it can tell me what side of the house I'm on already. You know, it's not even just like the street or I'm in front of the house. It can tell me the house I'm currently in. So yeah, they're definitely more accurate now. I think it's actually in the software. You have to tell it that if you want it to be accurate or if you want it to be broad as part of your cell phone, depending on which application you're using. But yeah, they can pinpoint exactly where you are anymore. So and yeah, good hope there with 32 days till spring. So hopefully we do get some warmer weather coming our way. All right, this is W2FGH with the STNY Digital Voice, and I have reached the end of my list. So let's see if there's any additional stations out there. Like to join this evening? Please call now. All right, nothing heard there. Putting up for any additional stations or any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns. Please call now.
This is NE2W.
Yeah, NETW. Ed, fire away with your comments, sir.
Oh, thanks, Frank. I don't know how I forgot it, but this Wednesday, February 18th, Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock is our Vera monthly meeting. We meet at the Copernic Science Center, out Route 26 in Vestal, kind of the Pennsylvania border. Our speaker's going to be, I should remember this, is Alan, KC2KLC. He's going to give a great presentation on solar activity and the effects here on Earth, especially since we're coming out of the 11-year solar cycle. You might know Ellen from the International Marconi Day Bureau puts on every year in May. He heads that up for us. If you can't make the meeting in person, it is available on Zoom. Simply go to w2ow.org. That's whiskey2oscarwhiskey.org. You're welcome to join us on Zoom. Great net tonight. Good crowd. Thanks, Frank. This is NE2W.
Thanks, Ed, and thanks for the reminder as well. I haven't attended the last few months there, and I was thinking, hopefully I can at least. I know I won't be able to make it down there in person this week, but hopefully I will be able to remind myself that it's time and get on Zoom there to meet up with you guys. So. All right, I guess final call here. Any last minute stations or any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns? Please call now.
Kilo Charlie 5, Foxtrot Mike, KC5 FM.
All right, and we have KC5 FM. Thanks for stopping in there, Lloyd. I think you're our long distance contact this evening. We were talking about a net topic this evening. We were talking about emergency preparedness. When was the last time you navigated using a paper map? And do you currently own a paper map? It was contributed by Mal, N2QFD, for the net topic this evening. So we hand it over to you. Thanks for the net here.
KC5 FM, my favorite topic is preparedness. Have I navigated by paper map? Why, yes, I have. I have navigated paper maps. In fact, as recent as last year, went to Maine, had a paper map with me. I have paper maps. I have a atlas in the trunk car. And in fact, in the trunk of my car, there is a atlas of the United States. Now, it's old, not ancient, but it's old. But it still will get me to point A to point B with a paper map. And, why, yes, I know how to read a map. I know how. In fact, my grandkids have learned how to read paper maps. I wonder who taught them that. Just wonder. Don't forget, for your friends out here in the Midwest, fire weather in Colorado today. Colorado Sky 1 activated today. Tomorrow, they'll do it again. Tuesday's going to be the bad fire weather day in Kansas, Oklahoma. So tell your friends in Kansas and Oklahoma, just keep your fire to yourself. Please do that. And hope everybody has a safe week. Don't forget heavy on safe. And be blessed. This is KC5 FM.
Hey, thanks there, Lloyd. And yes, thanks for teaching the grandkids there to also read paper maps. And anymore, there's kids out there that can't read a analog clock. It's all digital. They don't know how to read a clock anymore. So some of these the skills that kind of we take for granted, sometimes might not be passing down to the younger generations there. So thanks for passing that along. All right. I guess another final call here for any additional stations or any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns. Please call now.
Here is N2QFD.
And 2QFD, fire away with your comments there, Mal.
Thanks, Frank. Just figured I'd throw a plug in there. The Southern Tier Fusion Net's going to be coming up in about 3 minutes. So if you happen to be a YSF user, I might be checking into that one tonight myself. And again, thanks for letting me make a final call for Joe. As Dad was saying, we've spent 30 years talking to each other. And amateur radio is a unique fellowship. I enjoy seeing everybody's call signs fill the roster every week. It's an important part of our lives and nothing to be sneezed at. So wanted to pass that along and wish everyone a great week. Here's N2QSD.
Hey, thanks, Mal. And I was going to message you after this, but I guess I could just say it on here. I wanted to also give my condolences to Cliff as well. And, Cliff and Mal, if there's anything I can do to, help you guys out in any way, as well as I believe I can extend it to anybody on the net here, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. So, all right, I guess with Mal's comments there, we'll wrap things up here. So I'd like to thank Ray, Carlton, Mel, Dennis, Cliff, Jeff, Scott, Nick, Jerry, Howard, Ed F, Stephen, Ed K, and Lloyd for joining me this evening. We'll be returning this talk group back to normal amateur radio use. Everybody have a great and safe week there. This is W2FJH, and I'll be listening.